What is it? What is it?
Pakodi.
Pagodi.
Pakodi.
Pakodi. Pakora.
Voici Slow Trap.
We're traveling around the world one trip at a time.
Allons-y.
This episode is part 9 of our 17-day trip across parts of northern India. Our plan was to visit New Delhi, to see the Taj Mahal in Agra, to spend some time in the holy city of Varanasi, and then travel onward to Jaipur, and then finish by celebrating New Year's Eve in the amazing city of Udaipur. Most of our travel between these Indian cities has been done using local domestic airlines, in this case Indigo. We'll do a separate episode where we talk about all the tips and tricks of traveling using Indigo. You're going to want to check it out. In the city of Jaipur, we're staying at the Marriott Hotel. In fact, many of our hotels on this trip have all been related to Marriott in one way or the other. These Western hotels offer a 5-star experience. The only downside is that they can be a little bit of a distance away from the city center. Let's take a minute to talk about the truth about Uber in India. So for the majority of our trip throughout India, we've been using Uber to get around from the hotels to and from the airports. It works great in these situations where you have a little bit longer drive and you don't want to be in a rickshaw, you want to be in a regular car. The Uber's great because everything is prepaid, right? It's connected to a credit card, so everything's automatic. The driver knows exactly what they're getting paid. That's all done behind the scenes through Uber, and you're able to put a tip on the Uber fee, the cost of the ride, and rate the driver and everything like that. What makes this so great is that you don't have to expend your Indian currency that you might have on hand. So the Indian bills, you need quite a few of them, right, to be carrying around any sum of money. So if you are constantly using the auto rickshaws or the taxis or whatever, well, you're gonna burn through that cash and just have to keep getting more out. So this is why, one of the reasons why Uber is such a great thing. The other reason is because you can follow along on the route. It's got all the safety protocols. It's pretty seamless. The drivers are fantastic. The downside of Uber in India is that while it's available in most of the cities, it may not be, for practical reasons, available in the downtown part of the city, especially when you're going short distances. Maybe you want to go a mile down the road to a market. Maybe you want to jump from one tourist attraction to another tourist attraction, and they're relatively close by. Well, the Uber drivers with the cars are probably not going to do that because they get stuck in traffic. It's not very convenient. The way to maneuver downtown in the tight quarters and the micro terrain is with the auto rickshaws. Those you have to pay for by cash, but it's also a very simple process.
One of our favorite spots in Jaipur is called the Hawa Mahal, or the Wind Palace. This was a palace built in the late 18th century. It was built of sandstone, and the windows are made to look like lattice work. It was built so that the ladies of the court could sit behind a screen and observe the city around them. The rooms are just small enough for one person to sit in. All the windows make it easy for fresh air to pass through the interior. While the Wind Palace is beautiful all day long, the best part is right before sunset. The crowds there seem to be the biggest, and everyone is trying to get a picture. I think Jaipur is best seen at night. We are behind the Hawa Mahal, which is the Wind Palace, and we are headed towards City Palace.
We're going towards the City Palace.
We are in the alleyways behind it.
All right, let's go.
Let me know if I'm in the way.
Okay.
Watch your step. We're looking for the City Palace.
City Palace.
की फोटो बनाओगे ना ड्रेस पहन के?
Oh, you didn't get your magnet.
No, but we'll find it.
He's got one here.
You like?
For Jaipur?
Yeah.
Most of these are just Rajasthan.
I am guide.
That's okay. No, thank you.
I can show you this palace nice. Please come, ma'am. This is my textile shop.
I just bought it.
I think we just bought too much stuff already.
Yes.
We buy too much stuff already.
Very small. Very small.
No,
Believe me.
Thank you.
Pashmina
Well,
shop.
thank you. Thank you.
Only 500 rupees Pashmina, madam.
What I like, this is like a great opportunity to like people watch. Just come down
Yeah.
to the street. There's so many people down here. You know, families, young couples, people wandering around. A lot of tourists, but they're domestic tourists, you know, and you could just kind of hang out. It's a real bustling hubbub of activity.
The wives used to watch from the wives would watch from the green windows up there.
There's a great energy about this place. It's kind of a fun area to do a little bit of window shopping, maybe some souvenir shopping. There's all sorts of great things to take home. I always get hungry when we start shopping.
All made in Japan.
What is it? What is it?
Pakodi.
Pagodi.
Ah, pakodi.
Pakodi. Pakora. 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 Whoa. So this is pakora. It's like minced meat, usually with some type of meal or something like that, and then it's fried. It's really good. It's kind of like a street food. You can get it in an Indian restaurant, usually as an appetizer or something like that. What is the meat? What kind of meat? What kind of meat? Lamb? Huh? Dal dal. What's dal dal? What kind of meat? Huh? Spices. Lentils.
Yeah.
No meat.
No meat.
Vegetarian.
Everywhere you'll find vegetarian.
Oh, okay. So it's not a sausage ball, it's a lentil ball. Vegetarian lentils, some type of beans or something like that. There's a couple of things you have to know whenever you're taking the transportation in any of these Indian towns. When you're taking an auto rickshaw, that's one of these green and yellow three-wheel taxi, we call them tuk-tuks in China. They're generally not on Uber. You're gonna have, no.
Thank you.
They're generally not on Uber. You have to pay cash to the driver. So there's a couple of tips. Always negotiate how much the ride's going to cost beforehand, and make sure that it includes 2 people if there's 2 of you, right? 2 people for 150, 2 people for 300, whatever it's going to be. Then it's up to you whether or not you want to tip on top of that. When you get inside one of these auto rickshaws, just like we say, one hand for yourself and one hand for the ship. That means you need to hold on. You can't just sit passively inside the vehicle while you're moving along, because there's a lot of starting and stopping. You got to kind of brace yourself. You may end up going flying if you're not holding on to something.
The most important rule, just like an amusement park ride, hands and feet inside the ride at all times.
If you're not careful, you might end up getting hit by someone's mirror or something as they come ripping by you. Keep everything tucked in tight.
Tucked in tight.
Tucked in tight. Right now we're on our way to go get some dinner, hopefully a rooftop restaurant bar overlooking Jaipur.
Let me remind you that Slow Travel has no sponsors. We get no compensation from the people, the places, or the products that we mention on our YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe. This channel would not be possible without your support.
Okay, so here's another example. We're going to a rooftop bar. It's called Dagla, the rooftop in Jaipur. You arrive on the street, you can't see the rooftop bar, but the taxi driver said, oh no, it's right here, and the GPS says it's right here, but where? Where is the entrance? It's this way. You have to stop and kind of look around at all the signage, and there in the back is the sign.
So you have to turn the corner. Is it a rooftop?
Yeah, it's elevator. And there's an elevator right here. Okay, elevator's here. Yeah, thank you. This could be Shangri-La when we walk out, so we have no idea. This has happened multiple times on our trip in India. It's a real adventuresome feeling. I kind of like it. I kind of like the not knowing.
Just walking.
One of these days, who knows what we're going to stumble upon. Boom. Oh, it's nice. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
What's that?
Like cocktails.
You don't know which one?
I know which one I want.
What are you getting?
Jaipur Rain.
Okay, I'll have the same thing. What's in it?
Rum,
Okay.
orange juice, lemon juice, the pineapple juice, grenadine. You want to
Yeah.
try something different?
Yeah. Where's the one you were having? Jaipur Rain. Signature drinks: pink elephant, lemon juice, ginger.
This is the lime chicken. We had this the other night. This is so good. Man. It's just got an amazing flavor. This is like a butter sauce. Just a hint of lime, just so good.
It's the end of another long day. Dagla restaurant was fantastic. We're gonna call it a night, and we're on the road again, traveling further into India. If you enjoyed this episode, please join us next time as we continue our travels.
And spread the word about slow travel. Follow us on YouTube, Mr. and Mrs. Slow Travel.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. Go slow.
Do small.
Go travel.
Voyager.